Well, what a difference. 5-6 days on, and I've got some rhododendrons in flower. Well, at least one rhododendron in flower. So hopefully in the next few days, a few more will be teased out. But we're getting there. Gardeners are never happy. My rhododendrons are starting to flower. My deciduous azaleas, well, hopefully with a little bit of warmth, I think these are about 4 or 5 days off starting to show colour. I've got evergreen azaleas and rhododendrons which have been nestling under a shady hedge in Hampshire back on the Furzy garden. They've been slowed down as much as we possibly can. I think those are going to be okay, but the heartbreaking thing is we have a show-stopping evergreen azalea on the van in full flower now. It's no good for the show, it's going back home. It's nice to see some of the rhododendrons going in, and also of course the thatch. This is about 5 days on, and it's amazing how quickly things progress. The thatch building arrived on a platform in 4 different layers and was able to bolt one on top of another. And then Simon, our master thatcher, has just been creating that wonderful provisional. This is the provisional thatch on the outside here, which all needs tidying up. We're trying to mirror the curves and mound-like forms of the rhododendron in the curvature of the thatch there, so it's not too formal, it's not too tight, it's very relaxed. And the nest of the rhododendrons in here too. The multi-stem rhododendrons kind of twisting and gnarled, giving that idea of it just becoming a more sort of geriatric garden, a garden that's seen life before Chelsea Flower Show. And those stems then mirroring the spiny oak, which is our pinnacle at the top of the thatch here. And the idea is that our bridge comes across here, a clapperboard bridge in timber, an informal path, stone with herbaceous perennials all mixing through it, winds through, and then up the bank. So you're literally having to negotiate round and through the rhododendrons, and eventually you'll end up being able to go into the thatch, where you can sit down on a spiny oak bench and just relax and contemplate the journey you've taken. This terrace where Charlie's just planting here, this is all about dense woodland cover, so deep green ferns, pulmonarias, symphytums, relatively sparsely planted, the sorts of things that just eke out a meagre existence underneath the dense canopy of the rhododendrons. Follow the path down, and suddenly you're into the azalea and rhododendron zone here. This is where the ground has been reclaimed. Things like macabinum is moving back here. It's almost as if the garden has been felled and new rhododendrons are occupying the space. Digitalis, Geranium palmatum, all on a swathe here in a bit more sunshine. Across the bridge, and you go across the wetland where there's a natural spring, and this is where the primulas, hostas, ferns all start to really come into play. And it's this area, the real herbaceous, the luxury herbaceous, this is where the students really come into their own. They've not only grown the plants back at Furzy, but they're coming up here to plant them. There's about 24 of them all coming up to help plant. And then the finishing touch is the leaf litter and all of those wonderful little cameo pieces which will go underneath the canopy of our rhododendrons and amongst the stone path.